Hello everyone, and welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Matt, and I am planning a 2023 through hike of the Appalachian Trail this year. I'll be going northbound out of Springer Mountain, Georgia. In episode 1, I kind of covered a little bit about myself and what made me think to do this, and just a little bit ins and outs of what my plans are for the channel. In this video, I would like to go over the gear that I've chosen to take. I've always enjoyed gear videos, just kind of like every time I watch someone, I learn a little bit or might find a piece of gear I might use. So what I'd like to do, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I'd like to go through each piece of gear real quick, kind of what it is. A few of these items are luxury items, or what we call luxury items, things we can live without. And when it's time to leave, if the pack's a little heavy, I can always jettison a few of these items and leave them at home. But I think it would just make the trip a little easier along the way. So with no further ado, here we go. First thing I'll cover is, this is my Z-Packs backpack. It's an Arc Haul. I bought it, I think 3 years ago. I've put, close to 100 miles on it now with several different hikes, and I enjoy it. I think it's a good balance of comfort and light. Seems to have room to carry everything. I think if I got a bigger backpack, I would just find more stuff to stuff in it. So that's my choice for the backpack. I'll just unpack it as we go, and when I'm done, we'll talk about the total weight of the pack the way it is, okay? So, first item I have strapped to the top is a backpacker's chair. This is one of my luxury items that if I get too heavy, I don't have to take it. But you know, at the end of a long day, sitting cross-legged on the ground gets kind of old for a guy my age. So I think this will be a really good item to take. So that's number one. In the back pouch here, I am going to bring an umbrella. It's probably a luxury item also, although a lot of people who've hiked the Appalachians say they wouldn't do it without it. Rain day in, day out, and even when it gets hot, it's a good shade. So I have this. I also bought a couple clips for my strap that will hold the umbrella up and over my head while I'm hiking, so I don't have to hold on to it. Next item, no particular order, rain gear. I just went with the cheap pair of Frog Togs. If they tear up, I can always get another pair on trip. I have tried these out in very cold weather a few weeks ago. I don't know if you all know, I'm in the Arkansas Ozarks, and a few weeks ago we had a real cold spell, and it was like 10 degrees for a high and wind chill of, I don't know, below zero. So I did do a short hike with my gear, and I wore these mainly for wind block, and they definitely work. So if nothing else, a good wind block also. Next thing, a waterproof pack cover for my pack for when it's raining. Next thing out here, these are items I think I might need to get to on trail a little bit. So next is toilet paper, spade, some wipes, some wet wipes for on trail. We'll turn the pack around here, and on the outside I have the Garmin InReach beacon, and I subscribe to that. I also have just a little digital thermometer thing, kind of a cheap one. If it makes it, great. If it don't, whatever. Water pouch. I do have a little pouch on the bottom here where I put snacks and things I might need along the way. We'll go ahead and open up the pack, get to what's inside real quick. First thing we have, this is my puffy jacket. It's a Decathlon brand, and I'm really happy with it. I bought a Patagonia a few years ago. It's a good jacket also, but honestly, this one's half the price, and it's warm. It's got a hood on it, and I like it. So that's a good deal for the price. It was like, let's say, about half the price of a Patagonia. So in this pouch here, I have my Toiletries. Another little luxury item is an actual cloth towel, a small one. A lot of people just use the handkerchiefs. I've done that, and they work great, but this absorbs, and it's just a little bit of creature comfort there. Also have some moleskin for blisters, some alcohol pads. This has like ear cleaners and my toothbrush and Neosporin, some Band-Aids, that sort of thing for along the trip. I also have in here a little pouch with antacids and medication and ibuprofen, or vitamin I as we like to call it hiking. Eye drops. I have some tweezers, Body Glide for rashes. Also have Carmex. Seems like every time we get out in the winter time and it's winter on the trail, I always get chapped lips. So, and also some cortisone for bug bites or what have you. Those are some of my toiletries. This bag here, I have electronics. I'm going to be bringing the Anchor 20,000 milliamp battery pack, which will usually charge my phone several times. And I have a lot of other little rechargeable devices. So this is a lifesaver. I've used this quite a lot on trail. So that's handy. Another luxury item is this little air pump for my air mattress. I never have used them before, but this looked like a really good idea. Little air pump. It's real small, it's light, and it also has a light for in your tent. So I figured that's kind of a dual purpose. So kind of makes it more worthwhile to bring along. Little bag with all the charging cables and a 3-way charger. I'm bringing all the charging cables for each item, even though a lot of them are duplicate, but that way I figure I can charge 3 things at once if I need to. This pouch has nothing in it. This is a pouch I'm going to put my food in on trail. It's the size I normally use. I'm not sure if it's going to be big enough. I think it's in what they call a 8-liter or something like that. I've used these for 4 days worth of food before and it worked, but on the Appalachian I may need a little bit more room. But that's one thing I may change out still. Also, this is a little bag with about 50 yards of cable, and a little bag to put rock in for doing my bear hang of the food. So that's kind of that. Stakes for my tent. Here's my tent. It is the Duplex by Z-Packs. It's the camo one. I bought it a few years ago. I've used it quite a lot. I really like it. There is a little problem with moisture sometimes if you're in damper, or if it's cold outside and you're sleeping in there. Sometimes there's a little bit of problem with moisture, but I'll just have to work on that. That's a good tent, very light. Got the stakes there. And then I just used a contractor bag to put some stuff in. Also, I have the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite pad. This one, I think it's like 3 years old now. And it's always been comfortable. I usually have trouble sleeping on the ground. But this has always been comfortable. That's what I'm going to go with on my hike. See what we got next. Oh, pillow. I guess that's a luxury item, a little pillow, but I'm going to go with that. These gloves, waterproof gloves, I just picked these up at the local like Lowe's or something like that. They're waterproof and they're like a jersey glove on the inside, so there's a little bit of warmth in there too. Taking those for waterproof and for warmth, and I'm hoping that works well. I got the Possum Down hat from Z-Packs, really warm. I've used that a few times. Also have a neck gaiter for the cold weather. They say you pack your fears, and you can tell I'm afraid of being cold, so I have a lot of gear for cold weather. These are my clothes I'll sleep in. I've got a merino wool top and bottom, and a pair of socks. It would not be much good for hiking because they're really thick and woolly, but I think they're great for sleeping. So this I was planning on keeping separate from all my other clothes and only wearing this at night in the tent. No hiking in this, so this stays dry, and that way at the end of a long day, if it's wet or whatever, I can dry off, get in these, and that'll feel good. So let's see what we got next. I also have my cook set, fuel canister. I'm probably going to get the smaller fuel canister. Right now, I use this one. Here's my cook set, 750 milliliter little pot, titanium, and little rag for doing dishes and such, and little, I think it's a BSR cook stove. And lighter for that. I also have a little collapsible mug so I can drink my coffee and eat my oatmeal at the same time. So that's a little luxury, I suppose, but that's what I'm going with. Here's my other clothes. When I'm going to take on trail, trying to keep it to a minimum. I'll kind of go through them here real quick. I use the Lone Peaks, which are not real waterproof at all. So I did invest, actually for Christmas, I got a pair of waterproof socks, sealskins. I wore them a couple days just around here, little hikes, nothing real far, and in the really cold, and so far I'm happy with them. Also, I have the Darn Tough wool socks for on trail, a pair of Injinji toe socks to try to keep the blisters off my toes. I haven't had any real problems, but then again, I've only hiked 2 and 3 day backpacking trips. No, not for day in, day out on the trail. Breathable underwear for the trail, 2 pairs of that, and a pair of long johns, merino wool again, long johns for on trail. A long sleeve, I think this is more polyester than merino wool, but it breathes, but it also wicks moisture away. So this is long sleeve for on trail. And I also brought a t-shirt for those days that it's a little bit cooler on trail, or warmer rather, and I can wear it under my shirt. So that's what I'm taking for the clothes. I usually wear, this is a Columbia Omnishade, I think it's called. It's not real thick, but it does make a good layer, like an insulating layer to keep air up against your skin to help keep you warm. So that's comfortable. I'll also be wearing on trail just a pair of convertible pants with the legs that unzip for on trail. That's what I have with me there. What else we got down in here? To get it out of here. My sleeping bag is the Z-Packs 10 degree bag. It's a standard type, long, and it's really warm. I've taken it several times on trail, and it's very warm. I also have a liner that my daughter-in-law made for me that goes inside it, kind of a homemade liner to help keep it clean mainly, and maybe add a few degrees of warmth to it also. This is just the contractor bag that goes in the pack. Also kind of thought about, sometimes in my tent with the moisture on the roof, my feet end up against it in my sleeping bag. So I thought if worse come to worse and it was bad, I could always slip the end of my sleeping bag into here to kind of keep it insulated away from the tent wall and keep the moisture down. Okay, then we're getting close here. I have my water system, which I'm going to go with the CNOC bag and the Sawyer squeeze. I will have 1 or 2 of the smart water bottles. I've used the smart water bottles with these for filtering also, but I just like this a lot better. So that's what I'm going for water. Then on the bottom of my pack, if I can get it off of here or not, I did bring like a foam pad. I was going to buy just a sit pad, but really for the same money I could just get the whole foam pad. If I decide I don't need it, I can always leave that part at home or just leave it on trail somewhere. But it's also maybe a luxury item. I said if I had to, I could just cut a few squares off of there and it would work fine also. But that's what I'm using for my sleeping. I believe that's about, somewhere here I have a titanium spoon. Can't find it now, but it's somewhere here. So that is most of my gear. I also picked up a fanny pack to wear. In here I think I'll put my camera or a few electronics and maybe some snacks while I'm hiking. It'll be convenient right in front. Also, I thought if I go into town and I'm staying the night somewhere and I don't want to carry my backpack everywhere, I could just put my wallet and stuff like that in here, and it doesn't weigh nothing. It's really light. So that's basically my gear. Oh, my hiking sticks. my trekking poles, I bought these when I bought my tent. I wasn't sure if I was going to like my tent or not with the, it uses these poles to help set it up for the actual tent poles, is the way the Z-Packs works. So before I bought the tent and invested that much money, I didn't normally hike with these. Normally I use like a staff when I went hiking. So I thought, well, I better get these. I was honestly a little bit skeptical with them. But I bought these cheap off Amazon, and I love them. I'm very glad I bought them for balance, for crossing creeks or whatever. They really are nice. I like them. So I bought the tent to go with them. These, you know, I just bought the cheap ones in case I could just pitch them. But honestly, these Cascades or whatever they are, I've got like 100 miles on them or so, maybe more. And so far they've held up. It's not like I can't buy new ones on trail somewhere, so why spend the money right off the bat? I'll just use these. Oh, I also have a headlamp. It's not in my backpack, but I do have a rechargeable headlamp that I'll be taking for hiking, and I've used it quite a lot around here. I got a little homestead here, and I've used it quite a lot just working outside and that sort of thing. So that is most of my gear. There's a couple little things I need still, but that's pretty much it. The pack, with all this in it, including the little fanny pack, that's no food and no water. I am at 20.5 pounds. So I don't think that's too awful bad. I figure with about 8 pounds of food, if that's 4 days, they say it's about 2 pounds a day, and 7 pounds worth of water, something like that, I'll be in under 36 pounds. When I get it all dialed in, if I decide to lose a little weight, I could leave some of those items at home. I don't have to take some of those luxury items. Or I might just try it and get on trail and I can leave it in the hiker box somewhere. So that's my plan, and I'm going to have a few other videos. I think I'm about 7 weeks out now on the countdown to starting in mid-March. So that's all I have for now. Be looking out for more videos, and I'd love to meet y'all down the trail.